All right, everyone. Welcome to Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. I'm your co-host, Damon Pistolka, and we are so excited to be here today because we're going to be talking about digital marketing strategies for manufacturers and specifically creating buyer personas. That pretty gentleman right over there is Kurt Anderson. He's going to take it away. We're going to talk about this, answer your questions, and hopefully share some great information.
Damon, happy Friday the 13th to you.
It is a wonderful day.
It's a lucky day, my friend. And hey,
yes, it is.
Are you ready for Valentine's Day? Are you all set?
I am ready.
That a boy. So proud of you. I didn't even have to give you a heads up or a nudge. Let's dive in. We're going to go fast and furious. So guys, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Happy lucky Friday the 13th, wherever you are, whatever time you're catching us. And so, yeah, we are going to be diving into digital marketing strategies for manufacturers. And in particular, we're discussing buyer personas. And Damon, just share, why are these buyer personas just so important, man?
Well, if you don't know who you're selling to, you basically are selling to no one. Because if I'm selling to somebody that's in the, whatever, you go printed circuit board industry, and I'm using words that people in roofing use or some other manufacturing industry, your best customers are not going to listen.
They're not going to listen. And so when we try to be everything to everybody, you become nothing to no one, man. And I'll tell you, we always talk about how do you niche down and really niche down till it hurts. So Damon, let's just, we're not pulling any punches, dude. So we've created this wonderful, incredible, powerful software tool. We call it the digital game plan. And this digital game plan does a phenomenal job of dividing up your buyer personas. And hey, it was a big week this week for a couple of reasons. What happened this week?
We won the Super Bowl.
So Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. And the day that the Super Bowl ends, what is the next best part of the year, Damon?
Valentine's Day.
Spring training. Or yeah, you're right. Valentine's Day. But then after that, spring training. So spring training started.
Yep.
And so are you a baseball fan by any chance?
I've watched a few games.
You've watched a game or two in your tenure. So what we like to do is how do we divide up your buyer personas? We call them those soulmate customers by the bases, right? By baseball diamond. So we've got our singles. Think about boy, we love our singles. Sometimes through attrition, they go away. We hate to see them go, but it doesn't devastate our business. But man, we love our singles. But man, when you get those doubles, that's when it really steps up.
Nice business.
How about those triples when they slide headfirst in the third? And then, of course, we love our home runs. So, Damon, I have a little case study example here. Our dear friend, hey, have you heard of a company called Procter & Gamble?
I have.
It's kind of a thing, right? It's just if you're a peanut butter junkie like I am, you certainly know Procter & Gamble. So right here, what it's done, it's broken up these buyers by different base paths, if you will. And so, Damon, let's just take a look at these, and then we're going to go specifically into that buyer persona.
Mm-hmm.
So what stands out to you as you look at this list of our rounding the bases?
Well, this is pretty simple because it really looks into, okay, what is a smaller customer into largest customers? In this case is how it's broken down the soulmates.
Yeah, and I love it. And so, we've got Dollar General. So our dollar stores out there, of course, they could, for many small companies, that would be a home run. But then we've got Publix supermarkets, Staples.
Regional, and Staples is national, and Walmart's a behemoth.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, I feel like this did a really nice job of kind of dividing up those singles, doubles, triples, home runs. Let's take a look. Damon, what base are you looking to hit? What base are you looking to get on today?
Solid double.
You're looking for a solid double. Let's dive into Publix, my friend. So what it does is when you try to sell everything, when you try to be everything to everybody, once again, what are we? Let's say it together. Nothing to no one. Right. So what this does is we create a person, a human being. And here is Michael Johnson. Michael's 42. He lives down in Houston. And let's take a look at his bio. So he oversees operations at several public market locations, rapidly expanding regional market. His moment of truth occurs, right? Don't you love that, Damon, the moment of truth? Have you had any moments of truth this week?
I've had a few.
You had a few, man, my friend. When your city wins the Super Bowl, that's a big moment of truth, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So the cool thing is, rising operational costs and efficiencies create pressure from upper management. So like he's feeling the squeeze, right? Can you
Mhm.
just feel the pressure that poor Michael's under?
Yep. Yeah, you can.
And so talking about those frustrations, we take a look. What stands out to you, some of these frustrations here from your perspective? Anything in particular as we're diving into our buyer personas, our
Well,
soulmates?
I think there's a lot of, when you work on these sides, it's like, how can we help them sell products easier?
Mhm.
That's what I come on that, that through technology, through stuff beyond the product, really,
Right.
and making their lives easier.
Right. And like right here, pressure, inconsistent, like all these challenges here that he's facing. And so we want to dive into the frustrations, the understand his motivations. And then exciting thing down here is like the communication. Where can we find him and how can
Hmm.
we communicate? And here it's saying, hey, LinkedIn professional groups, webinars, that type of thing. So again, the more that we understand this buyer, the more that we're going to get out and reach and engage and connect and win that business that we're trying to acquire.
Yeah, I really like the role in the buying process too, because if you work with larger companies, you really need to understand there's going to be multiple people with roles in the buying process, and this really helps get you started thinking about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point here. And so the nice thing is, this, factors influencing buying decisions.
Yep.
Who, a lot of these, if you're a small manufacturer and you're targeting a large company, odds are you're hitting a committee. We talked
Yeah.
about that with our dear friend Wesleen recently, a sales guru, sales coach. And she talks about like, how can you hit the different folks inside that major company? If you're dealing with,
Mhm.
small companies, you might be dealing directly with the owner, right?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people in manufacturing and B2B though are dealing with this more and more as companies get larger, that's for sure.
Yep. So the thing is, what you want to do is, we've got this free software tool for your disposal. We welcome you, encourage you, invite you to reach out to Damon or myself, and we would love for you to test this out and just see how it works on your end. But again, the more that you understand that buyer persona, for example, we've got a dog treat manufacturer that we're working with, and what they're focusing on, they've got their singles, and then they've
Mhm.
got their triples. Their singles are their consumer buyers, dog treat, dog bone manufacturers. So they sell direct to consumers. So
Mhm.
those are their singles, and then on the triples is their wholesale business, and they're
Yep.
trying to find more distributors and more retail. And then of course, their home run would be the WalMarts, PetSmarts, the big major
Mhm.
players. But right now, that's what they're focusing on. So I really encourage you, as you're diving into this, pick that one customer. Think about
Yeah.
like, man, who are we absolutely crushing it for? And if we could replicate this customer over and over and over, and if you're crushing it for this customer, man, odds are that you could do the same thing. And how can you take that same success? Damon, your thoughts?
No, I agree with that completely, because you really, when you narrow that focus, you can talk to them, you know where they are, things become a lot clearer. That just becomes a lot clearer.
Right. It targets your messaging. It targets, what you're selling, how you're selling it, whether you're selling widgets, components, products, services. Again, like, if you're struggling and you're just like, gosh, I feel like I'm doing everything. I'm just not resonating. I'm not connecting. I'm not getting those leads. I encourage you, like, less is more. Right.
Mhm.
And like we're challenging ourselves all the time. Like, hey, what are things that we can shed off of our plate? And the more that you focus and the more that you move that needle, before we wrap up, let's talk about like connecting with folks. In a B2B space, obviously, LinkedIn is a great connection. Whether it might be email marketing, might be video content, anything that you want to share as far as like, what to put out there as far as like content for our friends.
Well, I think as we move forward, we'll be talking about this, but it's really educating your customers and
Mhm.
helping them make an informed decision. Why would they want to do business with you? Why, and just see what they really can do, how you can help them. Keep helping them, help them make more and more informed decisions, and that will help you eventually.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, guys, we're going to wind down and wrap up. Again, reach out to Damon, reach out to myself. We'd love to, we would send you, it's a total free software tool. You can create your own digital game plan, establish those buyer personas. And man, it might challenge you to think a little bit differently in how you target folks. So, Damon,
Yeah.
closing thoughts as we wrap up today.
Yeah, take the time to do this. I mean, when you identify your ideal customer and the buyer personas for them, it really will unlock some things that you're probably skipping over now.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, happy Valentine's Day weekend to you. Stay safe, stay warm wherever you're coming from. And if you're in Seattle, congratulations to all of our Seahawk friends out there. Damon, congratulations, dude.
Well, thank you, Kurt, and thanks everyone for being here today. We appreciate you. We just so thankful that you're here today. If you got in this late, go back to the beginning and learn a little bit more about creating buyer personas and how that might help you focus your marketing. We will be back again next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Peace.